Hey guys, so it's Sarah here, and I am back with another book pairing. So today I was gonna introduce you guys to Mexican hot chocolate, which is a favorite of mine. I used to get it in Seattle when I was there for college. There's a wonderful little chocolate shop that did these wonderful Mexican hot chocolates, and I just kind of got the hankering to kind of go and diggle around a little bit and get the different recipes on how I could make some Mexican hot chocolate myself. Because I thought it would be kind of a fun thing because hot chocolate's so popular around this time of year to do a little bit of a twist on it. So I'm going to talk to you guys about Mexican hot chocolate, and the book I have paired that with is Mexican Gothic, which is by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. So with Mexican Gothic, I'll start there. We are following Noemi, and she's a socialite in the 1950s, and this takes place in Mexico. And she receives a frantic letter from a cousin that, and I quote, "He is trying to poison me. You must come for me, Noemi. You have to save me." So she is not much of a sleuth, but she goes up into the mountains, and it's kind of cold and dreary. And she is trying to figure out what is going on, and the house itself is starting to come alive, and there's just lots of spooky, sinister moments. It's got kind of a little bit of a Hitchcockian feel, so you probably want something, a little warm and cozy to drink while you're reading it, because it does have those suspense elements and just that kind of heightened sense of doom throughout. It does also have little notes of romance, but it was just so wonderful. I really enjoyed this book. It's probably one of my favorite books that I've read this year. And I think Noemi would probably really approve of us talking about Mexican hot chocolate. So a little bit different than what I've done before when I've talked to you guys about book pairings. I actually have already started this one, and part of that is because you have to bring 4 cups of milk to boil for part of it. So essentially with Mexican hot chocolate, it is actually the original way that chocolate was enjoyed. So Mexican hot chocolate itself actually dates back to like 500 BC, where the Mayans were actually taking and drinking the Mexican hot chocolate at that time, because I don't think Mexico was a thing in 500 BC. But what they essentially did is they take cacao seeds and they mix it with water, cornmeal, and chili peppers. So that's where we get kind of the special component of Mexican hot chocolate, is where we're pulling in the chilies. So it's gonna be hot chocolate, temperature, and spice. It's really, really good. So as I was doing the research, I found out some different stuff about it, and I didn't realize that it was, it's actually Cortez that brought chocolate to Europe in the 1500s. And then I thought it was really interesting that chocolate wasn't started to be enjoyed in its more solid form until the 18th century. So up until then, it was still very much like a drinking thing, and it's a thick drinking chocolate. So as I looked for different recipes, I actually reached out to some friends of mine from college whose parents are from Mexico. So I got some guidance from them to make sure that I was going as authentic as possible. And what they suggested, and what a lot of the different research that I did showed, is to see if you have access to a Mexican chocolate at your local grocery store. And Mexican chocolate's going to be different than regular chocolate bars because it actually has a little bit of brown sugar mixed in with it. And so it's not just like a full chocolate. So the ones that I found around our area are abuelitas. So essentially what you're going to do, based off of, if you want to follow the recipe of the Mexican chocolate, it just is, you take a tablet, and this is about you can see what the tablet looks like. I'm not going to open it since I'm already boiling one. And you put that in 4 cups of boiling milk. So I tried it that way the first time, and it didn't really hit how I've had Mexican chocolate before. So I, again, reached out to see different ways that I could stay authentic while kind of kicking up the spice. So with the chocolate itself, the tablets, they do have brown sugar and cinnamon mixed in. So I boiled it with a cinnamon stick. So if you want to go my heat wise, you might do a cinnamon stick. You can also just do regular powdered cinnamon. I just really like cinnamon sticks. And where I got real feisty with it is I actually put in some chili powder. So my one friend's I was like, oh, I don't know about chili powder. And she was like, yeah, but that's typical. Throw in the chili powder. And then the cayenne pepper was the other one. But she was explaining to me that her grandma actually makes this really wonderful Mexican chocolate cake. And she uses cayenne pepper. So I also put in some cayenne pepper. Now, you do want to be careful with cayenne if you haven't done a lot of cooking with cayenne, because it's going to feel like it's not that spicy, and then it builds, and then it's really spicy. I did joke with them about putting habanero pepper in, just to really get that kick, and they seemed to think that was a terrible idea. So if you guys want to go even further than me, maybe habanero, maybe you guys want to go for the Ghost Reaper. I thought I would keep it with the spices. So it looks like the milk has come to a boil, which means as long as the milk has boiled and the entire tablet has dissolved, your Mexican hot chocolate is ready to drink. So I have tried this with whole milk, as well as trying some different non-dairy alternatives. And what I have found for the non-dairy is the oat milk works really nicely because it doesn't overpower the cinnamon, and it doesn't overpower any of the other things, and everything just plays nicely together. So if you wanted to try something else, I'm sure it also will taste great. I just really liked the way it worked with oat milk. So I will go ahead and pour myself a glass of that. I love my little special mug that I picked out for this one specifically. This is one of my favorite mugs, and it is because that is the molecule for chocolate. Seemed fitting for this one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my hot chocolate. And I am making a mess. You guys can laugh at my mess. So one of the things that they did tell me that they sometimes do is they might do a little bit of a dusting of cinnamon. They sometimes do a dusting of the chili pepper on top of it. They also talked about whipped cream. But I'm sticking with it just as it's just wonderful chocolate itself. And since it is a little too hot to drink right now because it was boiling, I'm not going to taste it and tell you guys about how amazing it is, but you guys can just imagine how amazing it is, because hot chocolate is just so good. And then just adding that little bit of kick to it can just add a kind of a different vibe for you for your cold weather drinking this year. And again, I am pairing that with Mexican Gothic, which is by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. And I guess I will catch you guys next time.